Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from Spiritual Awakening Signs, and we've got an exciting video for you today. So we're talking about when your awakening hits crisis level and what to do about it when it happens, because this comes up a lot on the awakening pathway to all of us. It happens at some point, and you need to know what to do when this comes up, and especially what to avoid, to be very careful with what's going on. So we're going to cover common advice for the awakening process that we're usually given and why it actually aggravates your spiritual awakening energies. We're going to talk about why this advice is not only outdated, but it's actually dangerous to your awakening, to your energies, and even to your sanity. We're also going to cover the secret approach to transform your spiritual awakening experience immediately. No one teaches what I'm going to share, and this is applicable no matter how bad your awakening has gone. So if you're at crisis level right now, please don't worry, it's going to be okay. But you need to understand how all the different pieces fit together so that you can make sure things are good. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing is we need to cover what you're usually trying to do to solve the problem. So you'll know that your awakening's out of control. You might start to feel like things are getting a bit on top of you and you're not really sure what to do. Maybe you're going through a dark night of the soul. Maybe you've got health problems. Maybe your life has fallen apart. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious all the time, or your emotions are just like a roller coaster. You might also be getting a lot of different psychic and intuitive things happening. That can be so confusing. There's tons of different signs and symptoms. We'll save that for another video because they are wide and varied. But ultimately life stops functioning as it should. Something has changed to a level where we're not really coping, or we're barely managing to keep things going, but we're just really upset, confused, lost, overwhelmed inside, and it makes it really difficult. So usually what happens is we do what we've been taught to do, the common advice. What do? You start to use crystals, you start to use essential oils, you start to use meditation or yoga. You start to use things that you know are going to comfort you, are going to stabilize your energies or raise your vibration, or whatever it is you feel that you need. That's what we start to do. I can see some people have joined us live. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. But the problem is, it doesn't work. So you might have noticed if you're using those things, and you've probably been on the awakening pathway for a bit of time now, and I would assume that you've used those types of items. You've used crystals, you've used meditation, you've used these different approaches, which I love too, and you've tried to make your awakening better, but I'm going to bet that it's not making it better. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay, it's what you tend to find with these items is that it doesn't really work, it doesn't last, or it makes your symptoms worse. Now, I'm going to break that down in a minute, but what I mean by that is, for the average person, crystals, essential oils, incense, all those lovely things, it doesn't really imbalance their energies whatsoever. But when you've been going through the spiritual awakening process, you better believe that your energies are extremely volatile, they are incredibly sensitive, and anything that affects your energy, the moment it comes into your field, is going to throw you off in some way, shape or form. And let me know below if this resonates with you. So what you'll tend to find is, if you have a think back, or you start to notice how your energy responds around these sorts of items and practices, you'll start to recognise that you develop worse symptoms after you've come into contact with these things. And again, I'm not saying get rid of them, because I love them too, and it was difficult for me to take that short break from that. But it honestly does really throw your energies off. Your energies have become something different. They are so high frequency that if you add anything else, it is like a lit match to gasoline. It really is. You need to be so careful with your energies at this time. They really need to be protected and supported. Okay? Now, what I want you to know is, the reason why that's not working is not you, and it's not your awakening. It's not that there's something wrong with your energies or anything like that at all. It's that it's not working because you are not the problem. It's that your energies are struggling with the process. Okay, this is a whole new experience. You get this influx of high vibrational spiritual energy that moves into the system to catalyze that awakening process. And let's be honest, our energies, our bodies, our minds can't deal with it. It's really challenging. Now, we'll get there, but for a while you're not quite in alignment with that energy yet, and it puts a huge pressure on your system, and that's what causes all the really difficult signs and symptoms. I hope you guys are following this. I can see more people have joined us live. Hello and welcome, and do let me know if any of this resonates or if you have any questions, because that's what I'm here for today. Okay, so what we know is that it's not working, the approach is not working, your energies are struggling with the process. They don't know how to process these high frequency spiritual awakening energies without losing balance. And it's the imbalance that is causing those, that huge host of spiritual awakening signs and symptoms, which really translates to difficulties, obstacles, challenges, overwhelm, anxiety, emotions, life falling apart, everything's a mess, can't cope, right? There's nothing wrong with you. That's what happens on the awakening pathway, but there is something you can do, okay? So what I'm going to suggest is going to sound counterintuitive, because I know that this is what we've been taught, this is what we believe in, it's the approach we always use, and I understand why. Because before you go into awakening, these things are hugely effective. Crystals, essential oils, yoga, meditation, energy healing, all these different things are really wonderful things in your energy. But when you go through awakening, you need to accept that your energies have changed. They've become something so much more high frequency, and you need to be really careful, because it is like that last butterfly that causes, the cataclysm. It's the tiniest little thing in your energies, and it's just going to explode. So you really need to be very, very careful with that, okay? So what you need to do instead is you need to teach your energies how to process that really high frequency energy, because they don't know how to do it. They don't know what to do with this energy. It just sits in the body and in the energy field causing problems. They don't know how to process it. Once your energies know how to process and manage that really high frequency energy while still remaining grounded, still being centered, life can go on in a really balanced, healthy, normal way, free of unnecessary trauma, free of chaotic awakening symptoms. It doesn't need to be that way. But your energies do need to learn how to process this, because how else do we cope with the upgrades? How else do we cope with these new high frequencies? Our systems have never experienced it before. What do I do with this? Okay, you've got to teach your system how. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but what I also want to do is to help you to identify the state that your energies are at right now, because this is a specific thing. I can see Deb's joined us. Hello Deb, welcome. Thanks for watching. You need to be able to check in with your system. You need to know if your awakening energies are being affected by the things that you're using. And this is a question that I have used throughout my awakening, and it helps guide me on what I need to take a break from temporarily, and what is safe and suitable and appropriate for my energies in the state that they're in while I'm going through the awakening process, okay? It's a bit of a lifesaver. It's very simple, but it is a lifesaver because it helps you tune into the energy. So you need to ask yourself this one question, and the question is, do my energies feel stable? Do my energies feel stable? Do your energies feel stable right now? If you really tune in and you think, do I feel secure? Do I feel grounded? Do I feel like the universe has got me? Or actually, if I'm honest, do I feel a little bit insecure, a little bit unsure, a little bit lost, a little bit off balance? I don't really trust that the grounds are underneath me is kind of the feeling that happens there. And it might manifest in lots of different ways, but ask yourself the question, do your energies feel stable? If the answer is no, you need to teach your energies how to be stable with this entirely new awakening high frequency upgrade in place. And if you do it right, if you really do it in a way that your system can respond to, that it can absorb, that it can understand, you can program your energies to effortlessly, automatically keep you anchored in all future high frequency upgrades too. So what that becomes then is your system then knows how to cope through the full moon, the new moon, any sort of astrological or astronomical shift, anything that's going on that everyone else is saying, oh my gosh, the energy is so intense, I can't handle this. Your system's going to be calm, secure. I can still pick up on what's going on, but it's not affecting me. I'm not absorbing it. It's not something that is throwing me off balance. And that's when you really get into this space in spiritual awakening where everything starts to turn good. Everything starts to turn into more, it's more about the positive sides, the synchronicities, the connections, the little signs, the guidance that you get. they're all the fun things that are waiting for you when you move through this challenging part. And all you need to do is put the energy downloads in place to teach your system how to do that, and it will do it automatically for you. Once it knows how, it will go to work on your behalf. You won't even need to think about it. It will just happen. And like I say, any sort of shift, any sort of energetic upgrade, anything that's going on, you'll see everyone else struggling with it, but you'll find that your energies are like, we've got this. We know how to process this. It's going to be okay. And that creates that stable energy. That's why the question, do my energies feel stable, is so important, because it's the stability that we lose in awakening all the time. People make it sound like you're going to be more stable, you're going to be more ascended, you're going to feel more emotionally balanced, but actually, in order to get to that place, it's a bit of a mess until you can get your energies in order first. So you've got to teach them what to do. That's the most important thing. Okay? Now, if you guys have any questions, please let me know, because I'll be around. But I teach all of this and more in my signature course, Grounded Awakenings. The Grounded Awakening System is a course of energy healing downloads to reduce your awakening symptoms and stabilise and ground your energies in just 7 days. And it doesn't matter how bad your awakening's been, it doesn't matter how long you've had symptoms or what your specific details are of your awakening experience. This is going to put those foundations and the energy downloads in place to teach your energies how to process all the different challenging symptoms, all the different parts of it. So everything's covered, okay? What's more, there's actually a VIP community, coaching community within that, where you get direct access to me and you can ask me absolutely all of your most pressing and challenging spiritual awakening questions, and I will be there to help and to guide you. Now, the doors open on Monday, but just for a few days, so if you want, you can get on the wait list to be notified when we launch. You'll find it below, and I hope to be supporting and assisting you in your spiritual awakening, helping you get to the good bit, because there is a good bit over the other side of this, very soon. Have a fantastic day.